Hello everyone, I hope you're well. This is not the video that I wanted to make the day after the transfer window has been, and it's just a chance to sit down, reflect and discuss with you all my thoughts on the fact that the board have effectively, or whoever's in charge of transfers, have effectively failed the team, failed the players, failed Mikel Arteta for the remainder of the season. I felt like there was an opportunity with regards to Ollie Watkins after David Ornstein's recently come out and said that Aston Villa actually said to Arsenal that 60 million was the price for Ollie Watkins. Arsenal tested the resolve at 40. Now surely that means that if they rebuff that, you go in with a £50 million offer. Just meet in the middle, try and get something done. But it's seemingly Arsenal didn't make any movements in the January transfer window before the deadline since that offer. And effectively, that's firstly a massive risk. And secondly, you are leaving the squad short massively. Right now, as it stands, we have one striker for the next 4 months. One player who has played there consistently, Kai Havertz. The way that we're going to be able to rest him is if we play the likes of Martinelli as a false 9, which he's never done. Trossard as a false 9, which has been done in the past with little success. Or Raheem Sterling as a false 9, a position he hasn't played since about 5 years ago at City. So we were effectively saying to Mikel, well done for all your hard work of getting us to second in the league table. But we're not going to reward you with that. We're not going to make your life easier in the last end of the season. We're going to have to pray that Kai Havertz keeps his goals up, his levels up, despite being absolutely shattered. We're going to have to pray that Kai Havertz doesn't get injured whatsoever. And then, maybe we can maybe have a chance at a trophy. I feel like we've effectively chucked the league away with regards to the lack of gumption that the manager showed, the lack of resolve. I don't even know the right words to describe it, but I feel we've really let the team down more than anything, and it's frustrating. We are in a position this season where Arsenal, despite all the lack of decisions, despite all the unlucky injuries, are in second place, 6 points off Liverpool. They have a game in hand. Let's be honest, Everton is not an easy game for them, and it wouldn't surprise me if they drop points in that. So we have a situation where we can possibly challenge for this league title. And to leave us short in such a serious area, it's unforgivable. It really is. Like, I'm trying to find words to describe it. You can't do that as owners of a football club. They have a responsibility to not only their own financial situation as an owner of a football club, to millions of fans worldwide. They have a responsibility to Mikel Arteta to be able to do his job to the best of his ability and fulfil the ambitions that they have laid out in this project that they've presented to him. They have the responsibility to help out the team who are crying for more support. If a team is understaffed in real life, the company will get people trained up to take the positions of where there are holes. Right now, we have one striker fit. Jesus has an ACL injury. We don't have any youth strikers who are available. We could have even brought back Fabio Vieira on loan, recalled him, because then at least we would have had a forward option on that right-hand side and just a little bit of rotation options. But we don't. Right now on the right-hand side, you've got Raheem Sterling or Martinelli when he plays there. On the left-hand side, you've got Leandro Trossard or Martinelli when he has to play there. Up front, you've got Kai Havertz. So is Nwaneri going to start playing centre-forward? Because, yes, Arteta said that's a potential for the future, but I didn't think that was going to be this season. And I don't think Arteta felt like it was going to be that this season. The worst part is, numerous times this manager has asked for a forward in the transfer window, saying we're short there and we need one. And we have failed him. Now, he is effectively the man that the Kroenkes have backed to the hilt. And they tried to back him, I guess, by bidding this 40 million. But why haven't they gone through and gone again? If Eddie was at the club, I do think we would have got someone through the door, whether it be due to an agent and us paying high extortionate agent fees. But I think we would have got someone through the door. And I think it's not the foresight that the owners necessarily had to think we need to fill this void, because this director of football who's in charge at the moment clearly isn't doing the job. And the thing that's really upsetting is this is basically written off, in my opinion, a trophy. We're no longer going to be anywhere near the Champions League, not that we would be anyway, but with a bit of depth and quality and depth, you could really have a real go at these two competitions that we're aiming for now. And you're no longer going to be going for the Premier League. We don't have the squad. Honestly, it might be worth Arteta just playing the weakest squad possible against Newcastle in midweek just to make sure we don't pick up any key injuries, because an injury to Kai Havertz and the whole season unravels, and that's a lot for Kai Havertz. I've said numerous times, the issue isn't Kai Havertz. The issue is Kai Havertz is the only solution. And he is a very good player, and he's a very good option for the squad to be more than a squad player, but not necessarily a striker you're going to think is going to score 30 goals a season. But for the system, he's perfect. And if we had an Ollie Watkins and he could supplement Ollie Watkins up front, or play left 8 sometimes, or play on the right wing whenever you need him, Kai Havertz would be a tremendous squad player. The issue is, at the moment, he's being put into the ground. Did you see how he collapsed after the Wolves game? It's just frustrating, and I feel for the players, and I also feel for Arteta, because he's been hamstrung by this ownership model, and it was really there for us to go and make a dent, pay the 60 million for Ollie Watkins. Yes, you might not be able to get Sesko in the summer, but you might be able to, because you might win the league, and then you've got more money to play with because you get more prize money. So take the gamble. And I understand everything's about the long-term strategy of the project, but the project's there now. It's been 6 years in charge for Mikel Arteta. He is ready to win trophies. The squad is ready. It just needed a little bit of a push over the line. And failing to do the basics of supporting the squad so there is a squad that can be competitive, that's unforgivable. And I'm sat here, I don't want Kroenkes to be out or anything like that, because they've been so good over the last few years, but I am worried that now we're getting consistent Champions League, they're going to stop their support for us and we could potentially go backwards, and that is not what I want for my football club. And it's frustrating because Ollie Watkins was there an opening. Villa have signed enough players to be able to sell him and be happy. Not even that. There are other opportunities in the market. We could have got Marcus Rashford on loan. We could have got Matthias Tell. And I'm not saying Tell or Rashford would increase the ability within the squad, because they probably wouldn't, but they would definitely increase the numbers, and they definitely increase the rotation options, and the profiles of them would fit the squad. I mean, Tell and Rashford could both play up front. Watkins was a striker before, a left winger, but then turned to a striker. These are players that you don't need to have on a permanent basis. We didn't even need an option to buy. We could have probably put in a 5 million loan fee and got the job done for them, but the lack of ambition or any movement is worrying. And now it's basically effectively saying to the fans that we're waiting until the summer for a big name striker. But what if Isak doesn't get sold by Newcastle? What if Sesko, for whatever reason, chooses to go to United or somewhere else? It's not good enough from the club, because it's so short-sighted, it's so long-sighted. They're cutting off the nose to spite their face, and it's so frustrating from a fan's point of view. And I know this video is depressing, and I know it's sad, and I hope, well, I don't hope you feel the same. I hope you've got a different viewpoint to me to give me some positives, because right now there's not a lot of positives to give about where this squad is going in terms of the direction for the next 4 months. An injury to Kai Havertz genuinely ruins the whole season, and we shouldn't be in that position as a squad. We had the opportunity to do things in this market. Whether they were long-term solutions or not, we could have loaned in a player like Matthias Tell from abroad, or we could have loaned in Rashford and sent back Neto at the end of his loan spell. But we chose not to, and that is disgraceful. But that's the way of the club, and we've got to support the club, I suppose. And that's fine. Obviously, Arsenal, great. I love Arsenal with all my heart. I spend a lot of time talking about them. I spend a lot of time thinking about them. But it's so frustrating when something you care about is in the position they're in and they need support and the owners don't help. And if Arteta walked tomorrow, as much as I love Arteta, I love the job he's done, I don't think he's replaceable very much. I think he could walk into any club within the world. I think that he would, if he was walked and free, then he'd be the next Real Madrid manager. But if Arteta was to walk tomorrow, we couldn't blame him because he's asked for a striker numerous times in this January transfer window, and the club have let him down again. And that's how it feels. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.